For those of you that have joined us, welcome to this, what is the second WLPGA member update webinar, the quarterly update webinars that we hold. Those of you that have been members with us for a long term, you probably remember the GAIN meetings, the Glowtech meetings. These were back at the turn of the century. These were ways that we engage with our members. We replaced this with our matrix meetings and then our member engagement meetings. This new series of meetings, which we call member update webinars, has really replaces those other forums. But I should say that we have plenty of opportunities for interaction between our members through all the working groups that we have. So there are a multitude of working groups out there. And the purpose of this is really just to give an update to members across the world on what we're doing, to inform you of our activities, give you an insight into some of the stuff that we're doing. And if you're not in a working group, it gives you the chance to get more involved in those things. You can ask questions at any point, just raise your hand and we will try to reply. It's going to be quite a tight schedule today. And if we don't get back to you in the meeting, we'll get back to you outside the meeting. If you can go to the next slide, please, just quickly to take a look at the agenda. You can see here that the agenda is essentially 4 blocks of 30 minutes. And each 30-minute block covers one of our goals. These are the 4 key areas of activities. You can go on through to the next slide. Before we get to the safety thing, I'd like to just advise that this is a WLPGA meeting, even though it's a webinar, so it'll be held according to our antitrust guidelines. So we can't discuss anything, any company-specific commercial information, essentially. And I also should advise you that the webinar is being recorded, and it's being recorded also. So those of you that were unable to join us live will be able to see this whole recording on our members only website for the rest of the year and beyond. Moving on to the next slide, I want to introduce the safety moment with just a comment to say that safety's always been really important to the association. It's one of our top priorities. One of our 4 goals is safety and business improvement, and it's an integral part of everything that we do. All of our meetings now begin with a safety moment. So before we talk about anything, we want to reflect first on safety first. And it's more than walking the talk. It ensures that safety becomes a reflex. That's what we want it to be, and that's what we would like you to do. So with that, I would like to pass on to Morten Ball from Makin, who will kick off today's sessions with a safety moment. So Morten, if you're there, over to you.
I'm here. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for giving me the chance to kick it off. First of all, just a little commercial for our safety core group. We have, for those of you the members that do not know that we have this or are not aware of it or not acquainted with it or not members, there is the safety core group, which is a group that is managed by David Tyler. It consists of the same wide range of people or entities, associations, organizations that are a member of the association. So it's distributors of LPG, marketing companies, equipment suppliers. And we meet up once every month to discuss essentially everything safety related within our industry. We talk about actually accidents or incidents, near accidents, near incidents. We talk about technical issues. We talk about all things related to safety, and it is not only the question of whether you can actually get your foot stuck somewhere or have a problem with your hand, but it's also mental health. It is everything that can be discussed as safety. And we do a consistent work. We have people from many areas of our industry, and we go open-minded into this meetings. So we share everything. There are no secrets in safety. We produce some, I would say, very consistent material in terms of alerts or feedbacks that can come from any kind of any part of the world or any part of the industry. And I can strongly suggest to anyone that's not member that that would like to participate, I think the door is always open. And as I say, it's 1 hour once every month, so it's relatively manageable. And if you are an organization that needs to have 2 people, I think that is also possible. And you can be just a listener, or you can participate as active as you have possibility. So please come and join us. David Tyler is ready to include anyone that has anything to add or that can benefit from this. It is a association activity. And other than that, I can strongly say to everyone, ask everyone, try every day when you have the chance to think, is there anything that I can do am I a manager? Is there anything I can do to improve the safety, the mental health safety, anything related to safety for my employees, for my colleagues?
This is a section of the regulator stuff by. So Iskander, we just insert.
Finally, we had more chance. There would be the chance to see a video that has been produced by Worthington, but we don't have the time, so it will be distributed, I think, by Audrey, either by email after the meeting or right here in the meeting. And with that, I consider that my 3 minutes are up, and I thank you for the attention.
Then it's over to me. I was basically waiting for a hand back to James, but I'm happy to, so good afternoon, good morning, everybody. I'm happy to give you an update on where we are with the various LPG weeks. Next slide, please. So the upcoming LPG week is a special one in Rome in November because it's a combined one with the European Liquid Gas Association. So it will be the 35th World LPG Forum and the European Liquid Gas Congress taking place under the theme Just Energy. I urge you to sign up as we're having an super early bird rate, which is expiring at the end of month. It will allow you to have quite an important discount. And at the same time, if you wish to sign up for accommodation, please do so as well, as there are limited numbers of rooms available. New event that we're launching this year, is the Global Science Conference. It's a unique platform to discuss scientific developments related to the production of renewable, recycled, and sustainable liquid gases. The launch of abstracts has been launched, and if you want more information, I would say please contact Nikos Xidas. When we launched the concept of LPG Week in 2019, one of the slogans was LPG Week has it for you. And I think what you're seeing now on your screen says it all. Whatever your interest in the industry, we have it covered by the events taking place during the week. There's more going on than what you can see now. There are side meetings, there are presentations. Please go to the LPG Week website to stay up to date and see what is planned for you this year. Next slide, please. These are the prestigious companies that are supporting the industry in LPG Week. The contribution is looking good. However, with the combined event, of course, the financial requirements are different. And also Rome is a expensive destination. We're very happy with the support so far, but we need more to make it a successful event. If you want to be amongst these prestigious companies and have some visibility, because we expect it to be the biggest event so far, please reach out to me and sign up either for sponsorship or for branding to make yourself visible amongst the industry. Next slide, please. Next year's event will take place in Cape Town. We're already quite ahead in the organization for the Cape Town event under the theme Energy for All. So it will be LPG Week for the Africas, where we'll discuss the fantastic benefits of LPG as a clean fuel to ensure a widespread access to clean energy globally. You can already mark your calendars for the dates. It will be from the 18th till the 22nd of November 2024. In case you want to sign up for a sponsorship for that event or combine it even with sponsorship for 2023, I'm happy to offer you a deal for that. just let me know if you're interested, if you want to join the companies that are already visible and have signed up so far. Happy to discuss it with you. Next slide, please. Then in 2025, we're looking at Rio for the destination. In early June, the Industry Council has conditionally approved Rio as the best fit for the event going back to South America. It's been a while. The last event was in 2009, and we think that the time is appropriate to return to South America. We're still discussing with the Latin American industry, but it's looking very promising, and I will update you on what to expect in the coming meetings. And then last but not least is the PCO tender process that I launched just early this week. In fact, the last tender was done in 2016, and it's a healthy procedure to see what's out there as PCO companies that can support in the organization of LPG Week. We have a long-standing contract with MCI France, and this year we're working with MCI Brussels, and that contract will expire after Rome. So as I mentioned, the tender process has been launched amongst 9 global PCOs. And in terms of timing, we expect to go through a selection process in August and September, and then come to a decision before Rome with a validation in Rome, most likely. And that's all for me for today. Thank you so much for your attention. I would like to hand it over now to Nikos Tsiras, who will run you through the innovation and growth part. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Esther, and a big welcome from me also to all our participants online. So I'm going to take you through the updates that we had on the innovation and growth since the last meeting we had. The agenda, you have already received it, you know it, you have it also up on your screen. One important thing maybe that I would like to say looking at this agenda is that we're not going to have with us the chairs of the individual working groups or work streams or subjects that you see up on the agenda. So I will take you through all the updates myself today. Usually at this point, you will hear a lot on introduction from the chair of our working group. You know, Warren Patterson was the chair of our working group from UGI, but we do not have the seat of the chair now is empty after the departure of, unfortunately, the departure of Warren. So no chair for the moment, but what I wanted to say is that we are working on it for a replacement, and probably we will have a new chair coming on this position very, very soon. Now, on the updates that I'm going to take you through all the work that we have been doing. First, I will start with some of the things which are actually outside the renewables area, because you know that the renewables is the biggest part of our activity at this moment. But on the subject outside the renewables, we are progressing on the report that we had started on the fuel cells. That is the new report for the 2023. We are progressing, of course, on the GTC, on the Global Technology Conference. You know that it had been opened. The calls for papers will close at the end of July. And the same also for our new event for the Global Science Conference. The calls of this conference will also close at the end of July. So these are the outside the renewables, if you want, the big things, and I will talk in the end also about the marine. So on the renewables working group and the plan of 2023, you will hear a lot, but before we go into some details on these renewables, maybe something it's worth spending some time to remind everyone. What is the strategy of our industry on the renewables in general, and in particular also, which has caused a lot of conversations on the renewable DME coming into our LPG industry? We had a lot of discussions on this in Nashville in the LPGA board meeting. We had also a discussion on at Liquid Gas Europe level on the board meeting, which took place last week here in Paris. So a few things just to remind ourselves why we are doing this. In many markets, as we say, you know, the traditional LPG that we have, it's already a decarbonizer. But there is a lot of pressure from policy makers, from regulators to decarbonize today. So we need, and we have been looking on everything tangible, every solution that we could put on the table and advocate to the policymakers since some time ago. So this is where we are now. And we know that the availability of LPG, as the availability of renewable LPG, as with everything renewable, it's not that easy. Huh? We think we have available product, but it depends on so many conditions. So we need to put all our games on the table, everything that we have. We will have competition in the molecules, we know that, and we know that not all pathways will be suitable, appropriate to everywhere, to everyone. And some pathways are, we know, still to be proven. We have 8 pathways for now, but many of them are at early stages. So we need absolutely everything, everywhere, we say, and all at once. We must consider all the possibilities, all solutions that we have available, and the diversity of all solutions that we have available. And we're looking at renewable propane, butane, e-fuels, waste to energy, everything really that we can have on the table to help us go through this decarbonization journey. We are not looking at specifically DME, ignoring anything else. No, DME, renewable DME, of course, is part of what I explained now, part of the everything. So the renewable DME opens simply another option, as we say. It's not the option, it's one of the many other options that we have. And of course, safety is our priority, as we say everywhere. So this is just to explain where we are and what we are doing, And I had also the chance last week to discuss with many in the conference in the DVFG forum in Germany, with many of our members, many of our colleagues, just to describe exactly or to remind everyone why we're doing all this. So now some updates on where we are on our working groups and the structure we have, a reminder, and also for those who are new in our calls, in our activity, just to understand how we work. We have the structure with a steering committee on top, and we have 2 big working groups underneath, the renewables working group and the one which deals with HSE aspects of bringing renewable DME into our industry. What has changed, and these are the changes here since the last call, we do not have Henry Carbon anymore with the DCC. We have in our steering committee Fabian Ziegler, who replaced Henry. So this is one change. Another change is what I mentioned before, that we do not have anymore the chair for the IGO, Warren Patterson, but the replacement, as you see, is in progress. So everything else remains the same. On the working groups, you see we have about 100 members for the renewables working group. In general, we meet quarterly. We have also a core team which meets weekly. Gormir from SHV Energy is the chair, and I'm coordinating this group. For the other group, for the HSE parts, it is almost the same as in numbers. But the specificity is that it has 5 work streams working under this new working, the renewables DME, the HSE part working group. The chair is Steve Hallett from Daimita, and of course, yeah, I'm coordinating also this group. So now a few details on what has been happening in each one of these groups. On the first, the renewable one, here is its structure. We have the project coordinator, Lee Brotherhood, and also the members, as you see below, more or less what I described before. And we have here the core team, and you see also some work streams which are new. This we did not have it before. So we have now work streams in this renewables working group in the same way that we had before, and we still have, of course, for the HSE group. We have one for the pathways and projections, another one for carbon credits and the certificates. We will have another one for carbon capture, storage and use, and so on, to cover all the activities that we have in our plan. So this is the new way we are working. Also, we have the advocacy and communications helping us with all the work that we are doing, and also ourselves helping them with the work. So this is not a work stream, but it is an important stakeholder on the side of this. On the new work streams, we kicked them off. We kicked them off quite recently. The first one on the pathways projection on the 16th of June, and the other one on the 13th of June. And we are working on it. We have a chair for the first one. We don't have a chair yet for the second one. But if any of you have proposals, volunteers, take part in this working group or lead this working group, please come back to me or to Gormir, to the chair, and we will discuss. We would love to have as many as we can participants in these work streams. Here you will see how these work streams they liaise with what we have in our project plan. You see here the items for our project plan 2.2, 3, 4, 6, etc. We have done some combinations of the work streams. We have, of course, the advocacy and communication, as I mentioned before, as an overall part of our work to advocate outside or further what we are producing. So just a picture of how everything comes together. Before I go into more details on this particular work that we're doing with the pathways and projections, which is the new report, the new study on the renewable liquid gases for 2030, 40, and 50. We have produced in terms of reference. This is a new report, a new study, as I said. We have called for offers based on these terms of reference. We have received the offers, and we are now in the process of evaluating the offers before we give the project to the successful consultant. A reminder why we're doing this, because you will tell me you have done in the past such studies and reports on renewable LPG. Yes, we have. You have done it for renewable DME. Yes, we have. But if we bring everything together, the picture may be a little bit different, because we are talking about some of the feedstocks being common, and also apart from that, things change all the time. So this is the chance now to put everything together, and under the help of a big consultant company. And this is what will be produced, and we are planning to release this and showcase it, of course, in our coming LPG week in Rome. The work for this we expect will start at the end of June and beginning of July, of course, after we have selected the successful consultant. We have a space on the MS Teams where we work with all the teams, but this is just the details. So information for everyone, and whoever is part of it will have access to this space. And we have all sorts of materials there, also including past reports. So this is about about the update of the first working group. Now, the update for the second working group, it is you will see there is a lot that we have done on this one with the chairmanship of Steve Hallett. So this is preparing the HSE part, the HSE aspects, which includes also standardization and changes in the regulation that we need to put in place. And this is the paper submissions also for the UN and for the ADR. And we know that this work often takes a very long time. We need to start early, standardization, regulation, we need to start early because it takes years to prepare and complete. And sometimes we have also objections and we have to go through them. So we have started this one. This is answering the question, where are we starting maybe now for things that maybe we're not 100% sure yet. We are starting because we need to start the earliest because it takes time. So safety is always our uppermost priority. So we work only with this thing in mind. And also to explain something else, whatever we put in the regulations makes things possible. It does not make things mandatory, okay, including also the standards. It is the distributors in our industry that make it possible, that will sell and will distribute the product in the market. So putting something in the regulation and standard does not mean it will happen. It is our industry that will make it happen, not the standards and the regulation, just allows it to happen. Okay. So LPG will still continue to be sold under the specifications and every nation country it has. We're not touching this for the moment. So we need to put first the regulation to allow ourselves to bring this product in. We need to put first the regulations in place, and second, we need to put the standards in place. But again, this allows things to happen. It does not mandate things to happen. So with the various recent discussions, we had to change a little bit our strategy on when to submit some papers and requests. So what you see here up on your screen is the latest, which means that we are not going to submit a formal paper for the READ ADR joint meeting in September. That was supposed to be done by the 23rd of June. We are postponing this a little so that we can have more test results of testing available. We are going to submit a formal paper for the UN meeting in December, and we are going to do this before the 1st of September. And we are going to submit an informal paper, as we say, for the READ ADR September joint meeting in September. But this is information for the team. And we hope that with a formal paper then that we can submit in March for the READ ADR, we will get an approval. This is our revised plan. The reasons why we have done that, you can see it up here on the screen. I'm not sure if I need to go through the detail, but you are going to receive this presentation and you can read the details also afterwards. We think that it is better this way. It is more solid. It gives more confidence to us and to the delegates of UN and the ADR. And even if we do not manage to succeed when we want to succeed, there are still some ways around it, and we are still going to manage to bring this product in the market when we want to bring it in the market. One last thing, what you see at the bottom of the slide is that we need to all work together to be successful with this. That means that our work with the UN and ADR relies on convincing the national delegates. And it is the associations, it is people at national level that convince the national delegates. So we need to advocate to them, we need to convince them before these meetings take place. And of course, a big part of it happens also from ourselves, from WLPGA, from Liquid Gas Europe. Okay, now let's go into the details of the HSE part. This is how the HSE working group is built together with its work streams. You have seen this slide before. The only difference here is that you are seeing a new work stream 5, which is about the non-drop-in blends. Just a reminder that we had presented this to our steering committee and to industry council, and we were told that yes, go ahead and study it, tell us what it means, tell us timelines, resources, etc., and come back to us to give you a final approval if really we are going to, or to what degree we are going to work on non-drop-in blends in WLPGA. The provisional agreement was that we will, but we need to also see what does it take, where does it stand in terms of our priorities. The approach you have seen, I believe, this slide before, on the approach we have taken for the HSE project. We are now at the final parts of producing the drop-in, the guidance document, the non-drop-in guidance document, and we are doing operational impact assessments. So we are quite advanced, and we think that we have done quite a lot. You know that we worked on risk register basis with risk tests of TÜV Rheinland, who have given us guidance through all of this process, identification of risks, closing of the items that were open, and doing literature review. So this is what we have done on the risk register basis, and this is what made us build our work plan. We saw that from the risk register, there were a few things which had deserved to be on the very top of our priorities, other ones which were lower. This is how we manage them. We rank them yellow, green, red, and we go through the work. It's enormous work which takes place on this. A big part of this work is to identify which materials from what we use, mostly elastomers, are compatible with DME, compatible with the blends of LPG, DME. So this is what you see here. This is provisional results that we have, which are green, which are orange, which are yellow, which are suitable, which are not suitable. So this work is still going on with the 20% testing that we are doing, 20% DME into the LPG. We are still a lot of more testings in the plan. The testings they continue. Many of them are being done by Kiwa. But again, I will not go into the details of this. You can see more when you get the slides. A reminder that some people say, blending DME with LPG. Well, blending DME with LPG. First of all, it's not new. As you see up here, this deodorant, for example, it contains alcohol, dimethyl ether, butane, propane. So it's already a blend which is being commercialized as an aerosol, but there are many other cases like this. So it's not really that new. It is new in some other applications. So we're working on the behavior of these blends to expand our knowledge with all these tests. So this is a lot of work. A big part is what we call it the preferential evaporation. That means one of the products, propane, evaporating quicker than the DME, so leaving DME behind. So this is a big work that we're doing, and we are modeling this work. In the end, there is a lot of work which needs to be done with OEMs. We are engaged with OEMs. We know that this product will be used with equipment and appliances that we have in the market. So we have to have the OEMs with us. And it's very important that we communicate properly, not only with those who are members of WLPGA, but also with those who are not members of WLPGA. So what do we say to what group? So we had identified that it was an important part to understand the communications-wise how to structure this communication. We did the communications workshop recently. A lot came out of it, and we are following up with more sessions of this communications group just to cover these things that I just mentioned, and to ensure that we have a good collaboration when we need this this collaboration. So in summary, you see that we think we're doing quite well. We have advanced quite fast, maybe too fast for some of, but we had a good progress, and we had the good progress, and this progress allowed us to believe that now the blend that we will call as safe blend, drop-in blend, is something between 11 or 14%, 11 to 14, maybe 14%. We hope so. We will have some final results later in the summer. So all is good for the moment. I mean, all we see going well. Sometimes we have to add more tests that were not foreseen before, but this is part of new projects like this. So all goes well. We don't see anything major blocking us, but we need to be all together on this project. And we need to control, all, of course, also our resources and finances we put in this work. So this is the update on what we have been doing on the HSE part. What I mentioned before, the Global Science Conference. A few words on this. We have mentioned it before. We launched it on the 15th of May. You know that it is the conference that will showcase innovative pathways to produce renewable liquid gases, butane, propane, DME, others, etc. So it's the first time we're doing it, and we're very excited with this. We have passed the word everywhere. We hope you pass the word also to your networks. We're expecting a lot from it. We're expecting a lot from our renewables activities anyway. So every support you can give us to this, please, will be very much appreciated. In preparation of this global conference, it is also the Global Science Council. The council sits in as a steering committee for this conference. We're putting the members of this Global Science Council. We have asked for nominations also from our members, but this is also a work in progress. You may know from the previous time that the chair of this council has been volunteered to be Dr. Pete Simons from SHV Energy. A few words now before finishing about our activity in marine. You know that we have been giving a lot of focus on marine, and marine is very interested. The shipping is very interested on LPG as a fuel. So we have a lot of vessels now in total order. Until some time ago, we had 153. I have not checked the numbers now, but I'm sure there are more than that. We had 53 which were already on the water. We have cases, of course, of retrofitting, cases of renew. So we're working very much with Lloyd registers and register. We had the complete case study for the conversion of vessels to LPG on the basis of the work which had been done on BW LPG. And we are working on producing, creating a specific event for Rome, for our LPG week in Rome. Something very interesting which happened after the last meeting we had at the members engagement members update webinar. It was our involvement with the Green for Sea event in Athens. You know that this is an excellent forum and platform to bring in renewables. So we created a specific session for LPG, and it was myself. It was Lloyd's registered. It was MAN. It was also a shipper, Latsko, who formed this panel and gave presentations. Everybody was very interested for for the LPG as a fuel. So I think we think it was a great event and attracts a lot of people from the shipping industry. So that was also something that was done under the competent hands of the organizers, the Green for Sea, Safety for Sea of Mr. Abo Belokas, who some of you may know it also from our association in previous years, and the awards we had got in the past for our activities and trying to decarbonize, to clean, to make the marine, the shipping world cleaner with the use of LPG. So I think this is probably all from what I wanted to update you today. Just as a closeout for closing from this event, unfortunately, we don't have a chair to close our event properly. But if there were some things to keep from all this, it would be from my side our big focus on renewables. You see, renewables, renewables, renewables. Big focus on innovation, GTC, and the GSC, the Global Science Conference. Big focus on marine, and big focus on all applications that are compatible with future fuels and with the electrification and hybrids and the new electrified world which is coming ahead. So I'd like to thank everyone for listening. And with this, I would like to pass the floor back to Michael.